Welcome to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm Woody Zimmerman here with Mark Skabowski of Remax Lakes. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well. And here we are in March.
Holy moly.
I know.
2 months gone.
I know, exactly. Which is fine. Which is, because spring break is right around the corner.
Just around the corner.
Yep, loving that. And, normally when you come back from spring break, we still have to deal with some chillier temperatures. But we know that it's warming up here soon.
We're getting there.
Yeah,
we're getting there.
And so that being said, when the temperatures warm up, the housing market tends to warm up.
Yeah, we talked about that graph, right? The sine curve where you get into March, April, activity starts picking up for whatever reason. I don't know why, because we're out of the winter doldrums or any of that stuff. Lake activity picks up a little bit later, April, May. Mm-hmm. We start seeing lake homes hit in the market. But bottom line, if you're a home seller this time of year, is now a good time to sell?
That's a big question.
That's a big question. And ultimately, it all comes back to me. We've said it for years. I think I look back, we started doing the show in, 16, maybe 17. I forget what year it was.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while. Almost for a show, what's your why? Mm-hmm. Well, if you're thinking about, hey, I'm getting ready to retire, I'm going to retire here this summer. I need the proceeds from the sale of my home to buy my next home, wherever I'm going to go to retire at. This is the time to get it out there and on the market. So, but it's what's your why. If you're changing jobs in the fall, getting out there, having your house sold is going to make it easier for you at the other end to buy something, because you don't have a contingency on the sale of your home. Mm-hmm. Now, the timing on that is critical, and it's hard. Nobody wants to move twice.
No.
Nobody ever wants to move twice. You want to sell your house, and at the day of closing, walk out of that house and walk into the house you're buying and move all your stuff.
Right.
It happens, but there's a lot of coordination.
Moving one time is tough, let alone, coming up with a contingency plan,
It is. So, that question this time of year, is it even a good time to move? Well, as we talked about, the market begins to pick up. People are wondering, am I going to be able to find something I want to move into? Mm-hmm. Well, you got a lot of people just like you who are sitting there having those same discussions, evaluating, is now a good time to sell? It all comes down to your why. Trying to time the market is about impossible.
Yeah, right.
When it's the right time for you, do it. Mm-hmm. And oh my gosh, I didn't maximize. We were talking a little bit about off air. I live on the lake. I should have sold mine in 21, 22 when the lake market was crazy.
Yeah.
But the reality is, I'd have overpaid for what I was buying, or felt that I was overpaying for what I was buying.
Yeah, right.
It's market value at that time. So you're going to deal with the hands that you're dealt at the time that you decide to make that decision, if you want to sell or not. Mm-hmm. What I can tell you, the market conditions are still pretty good, even though you're hearing on the national media, you're hearing people, inventory, there's a lot more inventory out there. Yes, there is, but we're still below pre-pandemic level. There still are not enough homes for sale for the number of buyers that are out there. Mm-hmm. Days on market's increasing. It's up to about 45, 50 days now. Well, that's normal. That's better than normal.
Right.
When we were 90 days, that was pretty normal. When you think about that, you put it out there, you don't get a lot of activity, and then ultimately people start looking, and it takes them 30 to 45 days to finance. 90 days, about right.
Yeah.
But we still see occasionally in certain price ranges to where you've got the carousel of buyers coming to look at homes. Mm-hmm. Now, that's not in our market. In the $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 houses that are off lake, you're not seeing 10 buyers on the first day. Mm-hmm. So sellers back in the day, not too long ago, you listed it. You had 10 showings and an offer within a couple of days. Yeah. Well, now you go 10 days and you may only have one showing, and you're what's wrong? Why is my house not selling? Interest rates and affordability on the buyer side. Mm-hmm. And you as a seller are going to be thinking about that. Am I going to be able to find what I want if I sell my house?
Right.
It's back to more normal real estate activity. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to think about those things. And it ultimately comes to, why are you deciding to move? If it's to retire, well, if you want to retire, eventually you're gonna sell.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna put your house on the market, and you'll sell it for what the market will bear. If you're not comfortable with that, then my advice would be don't put your house on the market.
Mhm.
You know, I mean,
Right.
nothing worse than getting it all ready for showings, and you know you're out there and it doesn't sell and it doesn't sell and it doesn't sell. It's like, whoa, what's wrong with it?
Mhm.
My agent's an idiot. My agent is an idiot. I'm not selling because my agent is an idiot. Well, maybe that agent gave you some advice that you should probably list a little bit lower,
Mhm.
and you want to take advantage because your neighbor's house sold for this price.
Yeah.
That's what I should price it at.
Yeah.
It's all part of the process, right?
Mhm.
Depending on what's active and on the market today,
Mm-hmm.
how many buyers there are out there. But for sellers this time of year, buyers are beginning to come into the market.
Mhm.
They're getting their tax returns back.
Yeah, that's right.
For a lot of people, that's their down payment.
Yeah.
Is getting their tax returns back. So they're beginning the process.
Mhm.
So that here now into March, we're starting to see activity levels, and we'll see it pick up more throughout the month until people go to spring break, because Warsaw becomes a ghost town.
That's true. Yeah, that is very true.
So activity levels will pick up, but it'll become a ghost town for Warsaw.
Yeah,
spring
about a
break.
month from now. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. All right, very good. Okay, more on this topic. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm Woody Zimmerman here with Mark Skabowski of Remax Lakes, and we're talking about, is it a good time to sell your home? And as you said before the break, the national media is saying, hey, there's more homes on the market, there's
Yeah.
more inventory,
Yeah.
but we're actually not at the same levels of what we were pre-pandemic.
Correct. Right. You know, so we had a 25% year-over-year increase. So from 23 to 24, 24 to 25,
Mm-hmm.
25% more homes on the market, but they're taking longer to sell. So I got a handy dandy little chart that talks about back in 2017, median days on market in September.
Okay.
This is national.
Yep.
64 days. Median days on in 18, 60 days. This is median, not average, but
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
60 days. In 24, it's 55. So they're still turning faster than they did in 17.
Yeah.
So for sellers, hey, should I sell? Is now a good time? Well, it's better than it was in 17,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's
Yeah.
just buyers are a little more hesitant, with good reason, because they're looking at their finances. If you think about affordability,
Yeah.
you know, it'd be interesting to overlay what was the the median price in 17 versus the median price in 24. It's gone up significantly. I know when we talked year over year home price appreciation in the pandemic years, you're 15 and 20%.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which last week we talked about property taxes, you know, escrowing into your
Yeah.
mortgage payment. Well, guess what? If property taxes went up 15%,
Mm-hmm.
your mortgage payment would have went up that amount. I'm
Right.
not saying it's 15% of your mortgage payment, but would have went up to cover that.
Mm-hmm.
So the bottom line for sellers, it's still a good time to sell, to get out there and lead the charge this time of year, to
Yeah.
get in the beginning of the season, be there. But the reality is, it is taking a little bit longer to sell. You're not selling in, you know, one day. It's going to take longer to sell, and buyers have got more options, so
Yeah.
they're going to be more critical. They're
Yeah.
going to be looking for things that meet their needs versus, oh my gosh, I need a house. I'm just going to buy the first thing that pops on the market that I have the opportunity.
Right.
You know, gone are the days where people were putting in offers on 10 different houses and missing out because there were multiple offers on all of them.
Right.
So you're going to see buyers attempt to negotiate a little bit more than
Mhm.
what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got competition down the street where before you might have been the only game in town, you're going to have others. So what's that mean? Conditions important. You
Mhm.
need to have the house ready to sell.
Yeah.
And if your objective is to maximize, to get as much as you can, there are some things that you can do to your home to increase the value to where you'll get maybe a little better selling price than
Okay.
you would have if you had not done it. So garage doors, and I would have never expected this, but garage door replacement, 194% return.
Wow.
Now that's a pricey install. So if you were going to sell your house next week, I'm not saying go put, you know, whatever, $8,000 into a brand new garage door and think that's going to raise your price.
Mhm.
But over time, it may help your property sell faster,
Okay.
and it may not be dollar for dollar, but it'll sell more quickly if you don't pull up and the garage door is all beat up.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, that's pretty high. So if you were selling in the next month, I wouldn't say go install a new garage door unless yours is so crushed and destroyed.
Yeah,
to where it's that curb appeal. People
Yeah.
pull up and they go, "Oh my God, the garage door is trash.
Yeah, right.
Why do I want to buy it?"
Right.
So, you know, again, you have to make those decisions for yourself, but just know you're not going to get dollar for dollar.
Well, and a lot of the newer construction that's out there right now, the curb appeal is like the garage. It's
That's
like
right.
so much of the front of the house as
Right.
opposed to, homes that were built, years ago, the garage was more in the back.
Correct. So, kitchen remodel. I'm not
Yeah.
saying go in and spend $25,000 remodeling your kitchen.
Yeah, you won't get that back.
You won't get that back. But if you paint, change out poles on cabinets,
Yeah.
on on drawers, those kind of things, that all improves the look of the house. Because what do people look at?
Yeah.
Kitchens,
Oh, big time.
bathrooms.
Yeah.
You know, so minor kitchen remodel
Okay.
will get you some money back. Siding replacement, again, these are big ticket items. If you're going to sell them next month, I wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're thinking about next year, year after, something like that, getting the siding replaced probably is going to help you.
Yep.
And what are all those pieces about? It's appeal.
Mm-hmm.
It's appeal. When people walk into your house, they want to feel like, hey, I could live here.
Yeah.
I don't have to come in and this isn't a gut job.
Yeah.
Because when you walk into houses that are gut jobs, invariably, again, as a listing agent, we get feedback. Oh my God, it's priced way too high for
Yeah.
this. If there's a repair, sellers think, it's $1,000 repair, buyers think it's a $10,000 repair.
Of course, yeah.
It doesn't matter. So they're instantly, I talk about used car sales, there's a ding, there's a ding, there's a ding.
Yeah.
If the accumulation of dings on your house
Yeah.
are too high, they're not going to be interested in buying it.
Mm-hmm.
So take some time, get it ready to sell, make sure it's clean, make sure it's decluttered, watch that curb appeal, and ultimately, you got to price it right.
Mm-hmm.
Like I talked about it earlier in the show, just because your neighbor's house sold for $350,000 doesn't mean yours is going to sell for $350,000. You've got a double wide, they've got a a built in 2010 3-bedroom 2-bath house. It's not the same.
It's different, yeah. Yeah.
It is different. So you really have to pay attention to that pricing and condition. Those pieces are more and more critical today.
And that's where an agent, to me, just earns their money because, a lot of the FSBOs, they're just pulling out a number and with nothing to compare it to.
And it's not personal for the agent, it's professional.
That's true, yeah.
They don't have an emotional attachment to it, and you may.
If you would like to continue this conversation with Mark, make sure you reach out. Your contact info?
Sure. The website, skabowskiteam.com. Phone number is 574-527-0660.
Okay, very good. You've been listening to Real Estate in Real Time. Enjoy March and have a wonderful weekend.